Assalamualaikum and greetings to all. My name is Nufaza Jali. My paper ID is 190. I'm presenting for Kmice Conference 2021. The title of my paper is Developing an Evaluation Framework for Immersive Learning Experiences for Software Engineering Project course. Developing an evaluations framework for immersive learning experiences for software engineering project course. So most of the principles and concepts that need to be taught in software engineering courses are hard to share their realistic experiences because it is difficult to give the students practical exposure to the insight and processes involved. So there is somehow a non-existent approach to conveying the concept of applying agile scrum and as well as team software process that involve learner, instructor, and business stakeholders. So this presentation and as well as the paper will explain the concept of a framework, yes, for efficiently building an immersive learning environment for both the learner and instructor, yes, of software engineering project course with the involvement of business stakeholder. Yeah. For today's presentations, okay, the content will include the introduction, the background, methodology approach, implementation, student engagement, and as well as the involvement with the business stakeholder. Okay, the results, okay, will consist of the achievement and feedback from both sides, the students and business stakeholder, and lastly is the conclusions. In coping with the future-ready curriculum, which is part of Malaysian education's blueprint for 21st century curriculum, a transformative delivery in teaching and learning such as immersive learning based on experience for the students to discover and share the experiential learning through hands-on and engagement with industry and the community. Sharpsus has stated that immersive learning enables individuals to experience situations as if they were there, say, using their expertise in tools to solve an issue or learn skill. So this is usually applied to virtual locations, okay, where they create a feeling of partial immersive learning, okay, which often involves the augmented reality or virtual reality. In the case of software engineering project, okay, by applying this software engineering project development with this learning pedagogy enables the students to experience real-world industry exposure with a real case study, stakeholder, and the community. So this will allow the student to learn strategies for solving problems and gain information by learning. Okay, so immersive learning experiences, okay, which has been quoted, okay, from Carroll, focus on face-to-face teaching and blended learning methods that provides an impactful and as well as meaningful learning experience to the students by allowing them to be actively engaged in tasks or projects that are not restricted to classroom setting. Students will experience communicating with the stakeholder, okay, such as the local entrepreneurs, and building a quality software product that require understanding, okay, of their requirements by the clients. Okay, so the client, okay, basically the stakeholder. Okay, so that student will learn to perform user analysis, okay, identify a value proportions, and analyze user experience data. Okay. Furthermore, working in a team effectively and excellent time management are essential skills, okay, in order to accomplish a common goal. A significant component in software engineering courses is the software project development. So the objective is to develop a software product for users or the stakeholder who intend to use it. Furthermore, students will learn to solve an industrial problem in team. So the software engineering students may not only be taught on the theory and technical aspect of the software development discipline, but as well this effectiveness of teamwork and social capabilities among themselves and as well as the clients. And for TME 3413 Software Engineering Laboratory, which is a course at the Faculty of Computer Science Information Technology, UNIMAS, University of Malaysia Sarawak, it offers to the third year students of software engineering program, students who have grasped and self-equipped with the fundamental of programming languages, scripting, software modeling, and database management system. So these skills and knowledge help the students to develop different kind of systems. So that enables the student to experience a real-world industry exposure with a real case study stakeholder and as well as with the community. The element that been added, adopted in this course is team software process and agile software process Scrum. You can find a paper written by us on TSP in agile software process Scrum. This TME 3413 Software Engineering Laboratory course practices involve the adoptions of the TSP and Agile software methodology for managing software project in the industry. So the TSP provide a series of operational processes to the software engineers, yes, team members of students, which can help them to organize software development projects more efficiently and effectively and improve their project quality and as well as productivity. So meanwhile, for the agile software development, it more focus on the individual and interaction, working software stakeholder collaboration and responding to change. So it is an iterative incremental method in the software development process. So both processes, TSP and Agile, have similarities in terms of assigning roles and responsibilities and defining and discussing on the risk issues to remove impediment. So there are three important factors influence the software quality and team or organization performances, which is the product, team or people, and as well as the technology. So by referring to this figure, the process is placed at the center of the triangle, connecting these three factors in which the efficiency of the software process which is measured by the defects, by the productivity, calendar time, and so forth. So besides these three environmental conditions which may influence the quality and performances, which include as well, we have the customer or stakeholder characteristics, which are the communications, and business conditions, covers the requirement rules, and development environment, which covers the software tools. Based on the framework that we mentioned earlier, which are the product, technology, and team, we have come up with a course learning activity for the software engineering course. So since every software project is different, there is no set list of deliverables that every project must provide. So part of the team's task is to decide what is needed for the specific project. So typically, typical deliverables include the working code, documentation, training material, test suites, and etc. So there are three primary criteria for a successful project are satisfying the client's needs, the usability of the product, and maintainability over the life of the product. So there are group projects, but the students will also be rewarded individually for extra contribution to the project or fail to provide a fair share of the effort. So through these course learning activities, includes the input artifacts such as the lecture, as well as on the reading, the case study, methodology, practices, evaluation guideline. Then we have the presentation and as well as Q&A sessions. Okay, for the case peer feedback, detailed case solutions, and methodology practices that have been that added to this learning activity, that is the TSP and as well as the agile practices. And for the learning activity distributions, okay, we have the lecture, okay, case solving, the pre-evaluation presentations, discussions, and as well as the reporting. For artbook, we have all the lab works done, and as well, not to forget about the video recording and photos capture, reports, and as well as this demo prototype. These are all the learning activities, okay, based on each of the learning activities processes. Okay, have the theoretical aspect of the software process, TSP, agile, SE practices, problem solving tools, etc. Okay, and all the case studies, okay, either project that proposed by the students, or proposed by the instructor. And list of documentations, such as proposal, software requirement specification, as well as software design specification. Aside from that, TSP form need to be submitted, the postmortem, and the peer feedback. So we have a total of 3 presentations altogether. The proposal presentation, the initial presentation, which involve a brief, and the brief of software requirement specification by the students, by the teams, with video recording and photo capture, with the client, and the software development specifications and the rest of the documentation. These are examples of tools which have been used for this course. We have a public application, on the team formation and the project topics. We showcase their presentation video added here into this Padlet, and a list of team members, and the team name. We have Trello, for the project management, tracking and tracing, and sharing all the documentation needed, and setting whether the project started, in progress, or done. So another tools that been used for software engineering lab course is TSP Tool, which is in spreadsheet. This is for project management. This is to help the developer to produce a good and quality of products. So there's a tool that will help them to make their work more easier and efficient. So this TSP tool is one of the methods that can be used by developer to plan the project, to record the project progress, record defects, and solve the defect. For the achievement and feedback from both the students and the stakeholder, we can see that from the survey, the CLOs are fully achieved, and the survey showed that students perform and learn well through the immersive environments in communication, teamwork, and as well as the problem-solving skills. There's a positive feedback from students indicated that this course could motivate them to learn and boost their self-confidence to work in a real environment. As we know, for the next semester, they will go for the internship. So throughout the entire project, communication is one of the essential skills in producing a system that works as a team and dealing with the stakeholders. One of the most challenging of this course for the students is that there hardly elicits. It's very challenging for them to elicit the exact requirement needed by their stakeholder. Thus, by applying the proposed framework practices, students have given a full cooperation during the entire system development process and managed to overcome all the obstacles in building a reliable yet user-friendly system. So these are the list of clients' evaluations, the feedback from the business stakeholders. Okay, and majority of them stay satisfied with the students' work, okay, the teamwork, and as well as the prototype, the project that have been completed. Okay, and some suggest that students need to learn new technology advancement in order to fulfill their needs and as well as the demands of the business stakeholder. Based on both methodology and the practices, okay, which has been applied by the students, experienced by the students, it's helped the students to gain a deeper understanding of a concept by seeing the application in real-world complex situations and involved with real clients. It's involved the students in active learning and encourage them for the discussion, not just limit among their peer or team members, but as well as the outsider. Yeah? And it also nurture interpersonal or communication skills and teach the students on how to manage time effectively. In conclusion, so this software engineering course lets the theoretical principle be shown to bridge the difference between the theory and practice, okay, which is from the classroom to the real working environment. So the students are able to apply the knowledge and the content of the course in a real world situation. Therefore, they will find the effectiveness of applying this agile software methodology and team software process, which focus on the team software development project for undergraduate studies. So this course is able to enhance effective learning through the immersive environment and enable the students to develop key skills such as the communications, the teamwork, and problem resolution. So the students will also learn to discover how to effectively communicate and collaborate with the development teams to carry out the project from concept to the completion. So therefore, by the end of this course, they understood the importance of quality as the guiding principle that should be pervasive throughout the software development organization. So since the study was conducted and completed before the COVID-19 pandemic began, the framework has been successfully implemented and the results were presented in this paper. Okay, so however, it's in light of the current COVID-19 pandemic situation, some of this framework component may not be suitable and have to be omitted or replaced with other means. So for example, the face-to-face interactions with the students, instructors, and clients may be impractical due to the constraint caused by the lockdown. So like fulfilling this standard operating procedure, the SOP, social distancing, students were not allowed to return to the university and other restrictions. So hence, another way to conduct the face-to-face interactions, okay, for this course, which is currently being done, that still fulfill this framework objective is by using the online video conferencing tool like Skype, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, okay, Zoom meeting, Google Meet, and other similar tools. Okay, thank you for listening. I hope to see you again.